What's going on, everybody? Episode 112 coming at you hot. End of February. We got the Leap Day podcast. I've got some guests on today. That's right, guests. Let's go. Lots to talk about. Can't waste any time. How's it going, everybody? Yes, that is Baba Cosmos, a remix by Ardalan, which is like a house music band, DJ. Baba Cosmos. That was a video my friend and his dad made some years ago. It was a big production. I remember when they went through it, and we were talking. Without further ado, these are our guests on the show today. We will get to that and the intros for them, but these guys, they've inspired people. They've inspired people in different ways, and having some trance techno music is one of the ways that they would have never thought they would have inspired someone, and they did. They did, and it's a complimentary thing, but also it's like this is probably playing in clubs and weird things across Europe, apparently in Germany. I'm sure if you go to a techno club in Berlin or something like that, you're going to hear this song there. And, maybe throw them some bones if you're making money on your DJ. Wow, what do they even call it? Like is it like a presentation? Is it just a gig? Is it a job? I've never DJ'd and I got no interest in it. But anyway, here we are, guys. Here we friggin' are. Leap Day. Leap friggin' Day. I went through the notes and I looked to see if I've ever done a show on February the 29th. I have not. I have not ever done one. I think the last time there was a leap year was in 2020. We were a mere 2 weeks away. We were starting to hear some rumors of some weird stuff going on in China. And then a basketball player started coughing all over his mic and shut down the world. 2 weeks away from the 4-year anniversary of COVID-19. That was the last leap year, 2020. We'll go through some of that. And, because it's a special day and it's going to be pretty rare, heck, might not happen again on this podcast. You never know how long it's going to last with me. It comes back, it goes. I do one episode, I do 2 episodes. I'm here when I can be. I try to maintain some consistency, but in this life, it's impossible because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. None of us know what we're doing or where we're going, and we're just trying to stay out of the fog. So hopefully there are more leap year podcasts. That would be 2028. I feel like it's every 4 years, right? There's no weird tied into some different calendar or something. It's not like whenever the Chinese calendar is the rat. No, I don't think it's that. I think it's just every 4 years. A lot of people complain because it's the one day. If you got a job, they make a salary. It's a day you're working for free. But I think in this day and age, there are many days we work for free and they just don't know it. Am I right, folks? Anyway, just came from the dentist. I'm getting used to another tooth fix. It really sucks. This is what you get for biting your fingers, creating pressure, chipping your front tooth after many, many years of just being really putting a lot of pressure, putting a lot of pressure on the teeth. And I got it fixed. It came off because I started biting again. That's behind me. I'm never doing that again. I'm never biting into an apple again. I'm never going to go front teeth first into a carrot, so, as I've been told today to not do. It's kind of like I've got a veneer in a way. But I got the tooth fixed back in November, and as soon as I came home, my wife was like, you have to go back and get it fixed. And it's true. I was looking a little bit too much like Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber on the one tooth there. A little too much of an angle going up. It's a tricky thing, though. When they put the filling in and they make it a little bit bigger, they got to keep shaving the back, and they're asking me, are you feeling it? Are you feeling it here? It's like, yes. And then you start to feel bad because it's like you're just not getting it. You're not getting it all. Finally, they do, and it's just this thing I've got to maintain now. And if it pops off, it pops off, and it's a couple $100 or whatever. You throw it through your benefits, and everything's fine, right? But I'm an actor for now. I don't know how long, but in the meantime, it's to quote the great who's the other asshole in Dumb and Dumber? I always forget his name. Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels said that acting is 90% face. 90% face is acting for TV and film, and that is true. So if you got your tooth is looking a little weird, then I'm going to be like that Ben Stiller character when he played a disabled guy in a farm, like, you make me happy. Remember when he did that? Can't get away with that stuff anymore. Okay, I'm not doing that voice. I'm not doing that voice out of anything but an impression of something that's already been done, okay? And I'm not going to do it on my own fruition, okay? Oh, I just bit the tooth weird. I'm not even going to go 2 days. This thing's going to fly off. Fuck it. I'll just knock it out. I'll put a goddamn chiclet or something in there, different piece of gum. I'll put a Werther's fucking candy in. Just have a marble-looking tooth. I don't know. What am I going to do? I didn't get braces as a kid, okay? I got a dirt bike. So if you've noticed, anyway, the album artwork for Come Lose It with Matt Duncan, it has changed yet again. We went 2 years. It's like I've gone through different things. The first time when I was doing Podcast Halfway, I got a graphic designer to do it, right? Beautiful. And then the second time, I literally took a picture of myself, like holding the phone in my kitchen and then threw it through a filter. And that was it. It takes a couple of seconds. You make sure the dimensions are right. It's very easy to upload for all the podcatchers. And this time, I went the AI route. And let me tell you something. It was a journey. I was talking to this DALL-E thing in ChatGPT, and I kept... You can't, like, upload a photo and be like, make this into a cartoon or something. It doesn't want to do that. But I could. I'm like, okay, I may not be out there on the internet in a huge way, but I am on a huge show. And that huge show put up my headshot on Amazon Prime. So when you're watching in my scene, my very quick scene in The Boys, you'll be able to see my headshot, and it'll tell you my name, and it will tell you the other guy's name, that Chase Crawford, who I'm in the scene with. And yeah, it's weird. But I'm out there, so I kept referring to Seafood Guy from The Boys, and it did not hesitate. It was like, okay. But it kept giving me, and I don't know if I need to go back and watch myself in this show. It kept giving me, like, the drunkest red nose, and I kept asking it, I'm like, could you please remove the red nose? Like, just make it a normal color, like, as the rest of the body. I'm not a drunk. Well, am I? Am I not? I'm not. No, I've been really working on that, folks. We'll get to that in the fitness update. No, but, like, it kept making my nose really red, and then when I asked it to take it away, it gave me, like, an actual clown nose. So I'm like, is this fucking with me? I thought AI was, everyone's freaking out about the videos and everything, and this thing is completely fucking with me. Anyway, I kept trying different things, and man, it came up with some incredible stuff. I kept trying to give different prompts. I've got a whole bunch, and the cover art, it's going to change. This isn't one of those podcasts where I have such a loyal following that the album artwork, the podcast artwork is important so much. I like it to keep changing as I'm changing, So yeah, maybe I'll do a year with this one, maybe 2 years. But the AI, I feel like it looks kind of like me, definitely like an old version of me. So it must have tapped into something with the Seafood Guy. And it's just really, it captures what I think this podcast is now. And, it's me, and it's kind of like I'm in a DALL-E painting, trying to understand one of the most profitable industries in the world, if not the most profitable industry in the world. And then everything else, because it's all tied in, it's all crazy, and I, at times, feel like I'm losing my mind. Got to take more magnesium, I guess. That seems to help. But boy, there's been a couple of nights where I'm like, is this a nervous breakdown? 3 in the morning when my cortisol levels are jacked to the roof here? Is this what a nervous breakdown is? Or is it the after effects of some weed drink I had a few nights before? I'll get into that with the when I introduce the guests. It's all legal, folks. We're in Canada. Before we move on, we're going to do a birthday special because we haven't done it in a while. And it's nice to know who's got the leap year birthdays, right? Because we never really get the chance to celebrate those people, and it's great to bring back some memories and whatnot, and see who's got that fabulous February 29th. And you gotta wonder on those other years, are they celebrating it the 28th, or are they going to March 1st? You don't know. You just don't know. I guess it's everyone's different. Really important stuff, though. Before I get into that, sorry, this is the ADHD brain just moving to the left, but Justin Bieber turns 30 years old tomorrow. I don't know if that makes you feel old, but it sure makes me feel old. Richard Lewis died yesterday. My generation knows him from one thing. It's not from his stand-up. We never watched his stand-up in the 80s and stuff. We were too young. I am a millennial. Thank you. But we did watch spoof comedies. Spoof comedies, I think we were the last generation to really enjoy spoof comedies, all the way from like airplane movies, which I know is kind of predates us, but the Hot Shots, the Naked Gun, the Mel Brooks stuff, his later stuff that he did in the 90s, that we were kind of the last generation that was cool with it. Then you had Austin Powers, and he came in and that was it. Then we drew the line. We're like, we don't want any more. And then Mike Myers was like, well, what about the Penteveret? What about Love Guru? And we're like, we said you're done, bro. So Richard Lewis was in one of those movies called Men in Tights. It was a Mel Brooks movie, and that is really the only thing I ever knew him from other than Curb Your Enthusiasm. Those are the two things. And I don't know. He's one of those celebrities that takes up space on the mantle. It's nice to know he's there, you know? And it's hard that he's gone because it just feels like now there's some space on the mantle and in your brain, you know? So Richard Lewis, it's sad because I do like him on Curb. He was great as the king in Men in Tights. And that's where he'll live for me. He'll live in those two things. I'm going to finish the current season, the last season of Curb. And then that's it. And I mean, these guys are all getting old. You gotta remember, these guys, like Richard Lewis, 76. Some would say that's young. He was sick. He had Parkinson's and whatnot. But he's like early boomer. That's an early fucking boomer. It's almost like silent generation. He's probably like when people are like, oh, I'm like a millennial, ex millennial, or you know, when you're on both sides of the coin there. So I think Larry David and Richard Lewis definitely feel a little bit of that silent generation, which was really my grandparents' generation. Old but lovely. God bless you, Rich. Hope everything's good. Hope you're a little more relaxed now, as we know you're tense and you're anxious. You really are a god for us anxious people. Thank you for your work. Maybe I'll look into some of your stuff. Now, before we get to the birthdays thing, just want to talk about our guest today. I went to visit Billy Hooch. He's been on the podcast twice. He's been in every iteration of the podcast. He was in the original 7 episodes of Podcast Fat Boy. We had a great episode, and it, for a long time, was like the most listened to one. Talked about carnival stuff. I think it was back in 2014. It was almost 10 years ago that we did that first episode. I remember we were both reeling because Robin Williams just died, and we were feeling weird about it, as was everyone. But now it's 10 years later, and Billy, I went to college with. I've known him over 20 years now. We started in comedy, and the majority of his performance post-comedy has been with his dad, which is kind of wild. Not many people can say that. He's done these, at the dawn of the YouTube movement, the experience from its creation, he was doing these videos with his dad called Pedar Va Pesar. I'm going to put links to it in the show notes. I know we got people from all over the world listening to this podcast. Check it out. It's pretty wild. Pretty you'll see that it's pretty alt. It's pretty alt comedy, and that's what we were all about back then, you know. I still love it. And now they do their own show, which is very chill. It's like a once a week. It's called Happy Hoosh Monday. Their last name is Hooshmandy, if you get my drift. And they do that every Monday night at 6, I think, live Eastern Standard Time. So you can actually go in and you can send them messages and stuff if you really want to. It's totally up to you. But it's you'll see two different worlds where you get Billy and his dad Firuz, known as Baba, and his dad is kind of the star of these videos, and he's doing wild stuff. And then now he's older, he's more reserved, and maybe he's a little more reflective here and there. So I got the chance to sit down with both of them, and I thought, I've never done this podcast with two guests, so why don't we just go for it? And I went to visit Billy. We don't get to see each other much. We live kind of far, and with the pandemic and everything, it's been some years since I've hung out at his place, and then we had a great time, and we were up late, and we were drinking really nice scotch and whiskey, and then against my better judgment, we thought maybe let's cap off the night with one of these marijuana drinks that are legal from the, OCS or whatever in Ontario. These are completely legal drinks. 10 milligrams of THC doesn't seem too bad. Now, I'm someone who doesn't like to take edibles too much. I'm someone who suffers from anxiety. Apparently, I should never take them. So we did this a little late for me. About 3 a.m, I think we started drinking one of those. I really tried my hardest to nurse it as best I could. And by the time we went to bed, it was 5. And that is when it hit me. It was like I brushed my teeth, got into bed, and just started shaking like I've never shook before. And I was like, okay, well, I guess normally I would freak out. Normally I would need my wife to help me. She's very good with, she knows all my habits when I'm freaking out with anxiety attacks. She's used to very late night anxiety attacks, but my wife wasn't there. I was 100 kilometers away in a town called Grimsby. So I had to figure it out myself, and I just had to watch some movies on my computer and wait for the shaking to subside. The room was cold. I will say the room was cold, so that definitely triggered it too. But it was out of control. It was out of control shaking. It was, which is kind of what happens when you get a little too messed up. Anyway, take it easy with that stuff, folks. Don't be doing that every day. I don't know how people do those things every day. I don't know how you smoke weed every day. It seems like anything that you're using to bend your mind or provide relief in some way that is not a prescribed medication that is being monitored by a professional, I think it's something that you should just try to avoid as much as you can. Especially as you're getting older, I feel like my brain just kind of melts. But I'm back to normal now. Everything's good. And it was good for me to survive that night, because usually I could have turned that into a news special. I could have been streaking through his neighborhood naked. I've been shirtless in his house before, trying to rub it out of me with a hot towel. So I didn't want to do that. But I kept it together. But, unfortunately, I didn't get to bed till about 10 a.m. No worries, folks. So we got Baba and Billy coming up on the podcast. Birthdays, we will get to that right now, and then we'll move right into the episode. Thank you for listening to episode 112. We'll be back in March, and enjoy the show. So let's get to those birthdays, goddammit. Okay, we got some hot birthdays here, everybody. Really exciting to see the great Tony Robbins. You know him. You know that nut. Motivational speaker. Telling you how to figure your shit out. Make it. You got to pay some money, but he'll tell you what you got to do, right? You've probably got a dad who's got one of his tapes, puts it in the car, asked you to put an extension, like some kind of like a tape deck that plugs into the CD player. What a world to think that might exist. Got this old Tony Robbins tape I gotta listen to. Stay positive. Make sure you have a cold bath once a day. I think he's all about that. Ja Rule's 48. My God, Ja Rule. You know the rapper. Firefest promised that glorious celebrity-filled festival on an island and just turned into Lord of the Flies. It was insane. If you haven't seen the docs on that, you gotta watch them. Absolutely friggin' mental. Who else we got? Susan Sinette, 72. You know her. You friggin' love her. Remember her? She was in Big Bad Mama, Candy Snatchers. You know, she's done like 9 things over, she hasn't acted since 1975. Happy birthday, Susan Sinette. Hope you are still going. There was somebody here that I'm skipping, and he was the great Dennis Farina. Now, Dennis Farina has passed. He's been gone over a decade now, but you would have remembered him. You would have friggin' remembered him from, like, Snatch. Used to be a cop. Very distinct look. I think he's probably done some mobster things. Joss Ackland, he's also passed, but he died last year. He lived till he was 95. I remember him from Bill and Ted's Journey, Bogus Journey, the second one. Very weird movie. You should see how that holds up. Kinda does. Pretty offensive at times, but overall a pretty good movie. There was another character on here that it looks like they removed because very strange to put this on a celebrity birthday site. Richard Ramirez, it was his birthday today. He was born on the leap year, but he's a serial killer, and that's not cool. You should probably remove that. We don't need to know when Richard Ramirez was born. Just like another serial killer born on this day was Aline Wuornos. You know, from the movie Monster. Remember that movie was about her, and it was pretty good. That was 20 years ago. I think she was executed 20 years ago or so. So, you know, hopefully she's chilling in the afterlife. I don't like to say people are in hell. As far as she's concerned, I feel like maybe the guys used it, or they deserved it a little bit because they were like abusive guys, and she was a sex worker. I feel like she had a tough life. Richard Ramirez, though, he could burn in hell. And as far as February 29th, nothing really cool has happened other than in 1940, Hattie McDaniels was the first black actor to win an Oscar. That's really the only thing that stood out other than 1960. February 29th was the day that the Family Circus comic strip debuted, and well, that comic has really screwed us up, hasn't it, folks? What the hell? What are they trying to say with those fucking things? Here's Baba and Billy talking with me on the podcast. All right, well, you know, this is a real special day on the podcast. I've never actually had 2 guests at the same time, so we're going to see how this goes. Very exciting to have you both here, though. For those who don't know, you guys are you've been around since the dawn of YouTube with your Pedar Va Pesar videos. As we were talking last night, lots of people have been inspired by you guys. Even weird house music has been remixed again. And you guys also have your own show every Monday called Happy Hoosh Monday.
Yes.
Where you are... What is the premise of that show? You guys...
What is the premise of Happy Hoosh Mondays? Blah, what is the premise? What's the point of Happy Hoosh Mondays? What would you say is our objective every Monday morning?
I feel I am with my son and with you and with everybody, all the people on the...
It's quality time together.
Yes,
spent.
Quality time, and I feel I'm somebody now.
You get energized. And you become somebody. Happy Hoosh Monday, we try to spread our happiness amongst our people that are regulars, people who've watched us, people who've just discovered us through that stream. We stream live for about 1 hour. 6 p.m. Eastern time. Sounds like a plug. Yeah. But we just try to spread happiness. It's a chance for us to, like, actually, sometimes I don't see Baba, even though we live here together. Yeah. Sometimes I'm busy. I don't see him. So it's a time that even we get to talk to each other and live, father and son, in our twilight years of life.
Are these all fans from the Pedar Va Pesar stuff? or is it like some new people have found you too?
Yeah, majority are, I would say, old fans.
Yeah.
And fans that like,
New came,
and a bunch of new people that just found. I don't know where the algorithm shows this stream. How does it pop up? Who are these people? A lot of people from Europe and the UK, and I'm guessing it's maybe because a lot of our followers came from that, but. Yeah, it's a bunch of old people, new people, people that said that they grew up when they were little kids would watch our
8 years,
stuff.
12 years. I know that from especially my homeland.
Yeah.
Yeah, from spread everywhere. But yeah, no, we love doing it. We love connecting with people.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are good at it. There's definitely a great vibe to the show. I need to partake when you guys do it live so I can get some of my comments on the on the board with all the other guys.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some wild characters that you guys bring in, which is always fun. Now, this is like a, I've been doing this podcast, Baba, now for 10 years almost. 10 years. Started as something else. It's always been kind of like a comedy, weight loss, fitness podcast. Like to talk about a lot of dumb, diets and stuff. And I feel like you have a lot of world knowledge. You've seen it all. You've seen it all with the diets. I think you've even spent some time in India, weren't you? Studying yoga and everything like that. What like of the different cultures that you've experienced? What was like? What culture had like the dietary thing down the best? Did you think? Was it?
Same with India, you name it.
Yeah, was it India? That's what I thought.
Yeah. India.
They just didn't eat anything. What was it?
What did they do?
If you call it diet, they don't eat, and they are
the Gandhi diet.
No beef.
Nothing is there. And I was same there. Good experience, especially for those yoga. I learned yoga, and I came back to my old country and teach all the German people, all the ladies, especially ladies, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. Did you find, like, when were you in India? Were you in like was it like
hippie time?
Hippie time, 60s, 70s?
Yeah, 70s.
Oh, wow.
70s.
Early 70s, huh?
And I miss Woodstock. I wanted to be there.
And did you see the gurus that were making all the hot yoga, like Bikram and stuff?
All my, as a matter of fact, one of the prophet and guru, not on guru, was I got my name from my second cousin, my mother's second cousin. But he born in India by the name of Mer Baba. Mer means kindness. Mer means
benevolence.
Sunshine. Or Mer means muhabbat. Muhabbat means something very
kindness,
deep. Kindness.
Nobility.
Baba means the man, the old man. That's why I changed it to Chor Baba, my name.
Yeah, one of his aliases, characters. Chor Baba.
Chor Baba is two meaning I explain in my
Go
show.
ahead, yeah.
I can explain.
Sure,
yeah. We'll put some,
Chor is my language, means my old-time language is a dialogue between Zoroastrian. I'm born, my roots is Zoroastrian, Zarathustra, if you heard.
That's the ancient.
And that's why they call him Chor, means dick. Dick. But in Indian, that part of that slang of language, not everybody, just part of one village of Iran.
It's like a local dialect.
Right.
But another name is million people they know. Chor is Indian, means burger or some
scam, charlatan.
Guy. Charlatan guy. That's why I call him that.
It's a double entendre. Chor means cock and it means charlatan. And then making Chor Baba, it's like like there was all the Osho guy. Remember
Yeah.
Osho? So he had a relative who was known as Meher Baba, and he was like
he
was
famous,
like a
still follower.
he has like followers in like California. I didn't even know this.
A part of that.
Yeah, he basically created some sort of cult, basically.
Oh yeah. That's a
And-
great doc about that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He never talk. He never talk. He was silent.
So there's a lot of
Right.
these Oshos that came out of the 60s and
Yeah.
the 70s out of India because they saw all these foreigners
Yes, yeah.
loved this like new way of life or whatever the heck. Not even new way. New to
Son,
them.
this Meher Baba was before that.
Yeah, of course. No, I know. He was older than Osho was
yeah.
like
And got a still follower everywhere, even in British Columbia.
Meher
also.
Baba.
Meher Baba.
Baba's Chor Baba. So it's a play, it's
I
a
got
parody
a
of
picture,
that.
everything inside the house. Not only picture, all the talk about in that room. Good, man, very like.
You made a temple for
religion.
Meher Baba.
There is a temple. Oh, in my yeah. Thank
Was
you.
he what did Meher Baba eat? Was he a healthy man?
Oh yeah, he was a big guy, healthy Persian, Iranian with a mustache, good long hair. Oh, he went during his time when he was alive. He went to Hollywood too.
Really?
Yes, yeah, famous. If you go, many people, maybe your friends, some of your relatives know Meher Baba.
Maybe
They follow. still
probably
they follow.
do.
Yes. I know all Zoroastrian change, many of them changed to Meher Baba after Zarathustra because his name was Mehraban. Mehraban is the name of Iranian boy. Mehraban means kindness. That's it.
Oh, damn.
I talk about Meher Baba more because I like him. He was my relative.
Fitness update.
Bob, I wanted to talk to you personally about this because I remember coming here years ago and you were like one of the first people to get into pickleball. You were like, before all like, it got co-opted by like younger hipsters and stuff and now everybody plays it.
Yeah.
And it like, I bet you if you even try to go play pickleball right now, it's a lot harder to get on the court. It's probably a lot of people always take it up.
Everybody, that's why I was surprised. But still, I am the best. Don't forget it.
Oh, I know. I mean, I played you in ping pong, so I would imagine you do the same kind of things.
Yes. But too many. No, pickleball. When I came, first person was in Canada. About 15 years they introduced. They came from, one person came from United States and show us. And I was the student there.
Oh, you're one of the originals.
The original, yeah.
Did you ever play
in
pickleball?
Grimsby. No.
I've only played a bastardization of pickleball in the backyard with Baba.
Oh.
Right in the early 80s. I'm like, he was trying to warm me up before taking me to the YMCA. And that never happened. It got too popular too fast, and I didn't want to be a part of it anymore.
It's too many people now, everywhere, every part.
Baba's lucky to get me to play ping
pong.
pong, let alone pickleball that I have to leave the house for.
But he threw the rocket to me.
For what?
Oh, one movie.
That was that was make believe, Baba. That was in a video. That was in a video we made. That didn't really happen. Sometimes Bubba watches those videos and they mess with his memories and think I've planted false memories in his head. He thinks that was a reality that
Really, I changed, man.
he's in the
I
Matrix
hope
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Did eating the goat head video, did it curse you or did it charm you guys?
Oh, no, I need a goat head. I need it now.
Bubba likes good goat
I'm
head.
coming to Toronto to find some Iranian shop, buy the goat head. Here I couldn't find.
Baba loves, it's called kale pache
yeah,
in Farsi, and it's a famous dish that I think it's like high caloric intake. Like I think it's a lot. It's supposed to give you energy for weeks, right? Kale pache.
Yeah, California.
I've never had it. And I think what Bubba made in that video, I never tried it. No. That's just the smell of that stuff was disgusting.
When you had it on a frying pan, it looked insane. That's the hardest thing to cook on all sides.
Yeah, we had it at a wok, but like I think he really put it in the oven and baked it, and it stunk up the house. It was before we had the proper ventilation too, so it just the whole house smelled like death. Like death for like a week.
You remember first time about 25 years ago with that guy, Stony Creek. I bought one Jason and those people, I rent a place there. And then I cooked that. The owner called the cops. I killed somebody or smell like a body, means a rotten body.
Someone thought it was like a Dahmer in the neighborhood.
Check it and smell. How you eat that? Why you got? Even the cops didn't know where I got that whole head. I put that on the what they call
stove
yard
in the backyard.
Yeah.
You were barbecuing it?
Yeah, Amir House.
Slow cooking?
No.
Yeah.
Smoke it.
Yeah.
Smoke goat head?
Yeah.
That's
so it smell bad, especially the leftover of hair.
Yeah.
But I eat it afterward. I show them. Even the cops.
You offered the cops.
Yeah.
And for the listeners, I will post links in the notes so you can go to your page and watch these videos. Yes. If you so dare with some of them.
Yeah, viewer discretion is advised.
But hey, nothing's gotten banned from YouTube all these years, right? You never got flagged in anything?
No, there was one video that was taken down. I re-uploaded it, and now it wasn't a problem. It was that tea time video. I think it's only when viewers personally get offended and they flag it to YouTube. But yeah, the tea time video was taken down. Because you were, guy. He was doing something naughty with a teddy bear, like this like ape teddy bear on the screen, and I think maybe that bothered people. It bothered me, and we said some bad stuff. Wait, I'm surprised that we haven't been canceled yet. I'm sure it doesn't. We're uncancelable at this point.
Yeah, that time was a good time. Now if I do that, I am very careful. Even now I check there is no camera.
What are you gonna do if the Baba's mellowed out now that he realizes that there's people actually watching these silly videos that we created? It kind of freaks him out.
Yeah,
it's like you can't undelete what people have seen.
Exactly, my friend. Many community they told me, "Oh, you are, it's not good to use all bad words." I used to,
but that was the point. The point of those videos were trying to like break like taboos of like, especially like Persian community being so like overtly polite. And like it felt fake and superficial. So us doing the extreme opposite was providing this like catharsis for people. People watch this shit. This father and son saying and doing whatever.
Exactly.
And they got to enjoy it. I think that was the point of it, as being extremely unfiltered. But
so Billy, what is your fitness update? What are you up to? You're going to the gym still. It seems like you're pretty religious with that.
Mm-hmm.
You like to go do some cardio, lift some things.
Yeah, I've got a fairly I don't know. I've been settled into this routine that's worked for me. I'm always self-conscious if someone who knows about fitness would look at it and be like, "What the heck are you doing? It's not very efficient." But for me, it's creating a routine that I'm able to stick to has been the key.
Yeah.
That it's not hard, and I'm able to kind of do it every day. Well, I basically every day I do those. You've seen them, the 8-minute workouts. I still do the Beetlejuice guy, the Beachbody people. I still do those. I've got them on my phone. That's basically my stretches. I wake up, do 8-minute stretch video, 8-minute abs, 8-minute buns. And then I go to the gym And one day is like an upper body workout with 30 minutes. It's like 30 minutes of upper body weights and whatnot. And then I do 30 minutes of cardio, interval training, running on the treadmill. And then the next day I do legs, all lower body, and also that 30 minutes of cardio. I do that 4 days a week.
Oh, that's perfect. That's pretty good. Now that you're going into a new age of your life, right? You're in a new generation now.
Yes.
And we're at the age where we do have to start being more careful with how we do some of these exercises.
Yeah.
Talked a lot on my podcast. I've had a lot of back issues over the last couple of years. And it's like you just can't, you got to think before you do anything.
Everything
You probably
hurts.
know this for many years.
Yeah, exactly.
And you, obviously you're probably not playing pickleball as much, but you like to bike outside as do I.
Oh, yes, every day, couple hours. I go to gym with what they call bicycle, even winter, anytime.
Yeah.
Even
The snow.
anything happen, a snow, a storm.
Do you still have the indoor bike, or did you sell it? Or
No, we still have it. He doesn't use it that much. It's in
Yeah.
storage, but
Well, you don't have to keep that bike. For the listeners, though, my grandfather died. I gave you his exercise bike that he never used. And, it was part of that. It was really a reason to be able to see people because it was like early in the pandemic. And, you just weren't allowed to leave ever. I think that was still at the time where it was kind of illegal to do anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't want us on the streets spreading, super spreading. But
Yes.
now Baba's free to spread whatever he likes at the YMCA.
Yes, I do. I spread everything. And they know me. I am so proud of
Yeah. He's a character at the YMCA.
Yeah, everybody know
knows it.
me. It's good place not only for a sport for everybody. For me, they visit, they come and sometimes I
Social.
go there socialize and my time too always socialize with everybody, especially nice women, good, oldie, but they are Goldie, not oldie. I am oldie. And my son is oldie, but not Goldie.
not
yet
Goldie,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That makes me feel great.
Good. Yeah, old in brain.
My brain's old,
Yeah.
yeah.
Health news.
News that is health related.
This is the part where I like to talk about a couple of health news topics that I find on the internet. Most of the time, I find these ridiculous diets that people do. There's like some really weird ones. Like it's really just to get you to stop eating. That's what I found out with all of these fads. There's one called like a tongue patch where people like sew some painful thing on their tongue. And then it just makes you not eat very much, obviously.
Because you're in pain.
And you can't leave it on too long or it'll grow into your tongue, the tongue patch.
Oh my god.
Now that's a radical one. We've talked a lot on this show about the Jared Subway diet, which is the most ridiculous
That's illegal.
thing. It's illegal. It's illegal now. They don't promote it, but yeah, I guess if it's really just that he was able to get a calorie deficit because he was like 500 pounds. And yeah, if you eat a 6-inch sub every day, and that's it, then you're going to lose some weight eventually. You know, like I think they got him before he hit his plateau or something like that. But this one is a craze that I'm seeing more and more come up now, and it's called volume eating. Have you guys heard about volume eating?
I have not. No.
Okay, so volume eating is like it's a method of approach that promotes eating high volumes of food with like low energy foods, and it's trying to like replace food. Like if you're eating a thing of M&Ms, you got to think of it like a jar is your stomach, and you're putting in 8 M&Ms. That's the same calories as like a giant bag of lettuce or something, right? So if your stomach is full of that lettuce and you're getting like, you're not going to be as hungry. So this is like a new gamification. I think this might be what Noom is too. I've never really looked into that app. It's like people say it's like a eating disorder weight loss app.
Most of that stuff,
Yeah.
that's all that's
But-
the road that it takes you on.
Yeah, it seems, and there's right now in the medical world for weight loss, it's either stuff like this where it's just like, well, you're not going to stop eating, so just eat stuff that is low in calorie and filling, or you go the other way and you do Ozempic, and you take a drug that tells you you're not hungry anymore.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a drug that is for diabetics, and everyone has stolen it. And now diabetics can't even get this medication that's supposed to be for them, which is hilarious. But what do you like? You guys are coming into a month now where you're going to probably be fasting again. I know I've done it with you guys in the past. I remember doing the Nowruz fast myself, and I love intermittent fasting. I'm off of it right now, but I always feel like I have more energy. People think when you fast you're going to be like tired and sick, but it really is the opposite.
Yeah.
Because you still get your food in you during the day when you break your fast, but I also think like restricting your hours that you have that you're able to eat. You're not going to be as hungry during that time if you only like have 8 hours in a tight day. Because a lot of times people they eat when they're thirsty. Too,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So yeah, but the volume eating is a big trend right now. That's what like the celebrities and stuff are doing along with Ozempic. I guess you're doing one or the other, because if you're on Ozempic, you're just sick all the time.
Yeah. Just don't feel like eating because you're on drugs.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you guys, I just want to say the pros to the volume eating, you may consume more nutrients. So that's good. Get your, vitamins and everything in. You'll likely feel fuller for longer, so you're not going to be as hungry, and you might lose some weight, obviously, because you're not, having processed food and stuff like that. And inside of it. Cons, it may sacrifice quality for quantity. Not a great way. You're a cook, Baba. You like to, it might get pretty boring if you're eating because anything that's low calorie in a big quantity it doesn't taste very good. You know what I mean? You put a little salad dressing on something and it changes the world, but it might add like 200. You can't have the blue cheese all the time. When you're volume eating, you can't have the blue cheese and the baba balls.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where that fits in. We'll have to send it to a lab and see what the caloric intake.
I know that. I know that, but I love it. I love it. I used to always use that for drink. I used to drink lots alcoholic drink, but now I stop.
Yeah, I find that as I get older too, I just booze doesn't feel worth it anymore.
No.
We're recovering from what we were doing last night, and yeah, it's just when we were younger, we were passing out on subways, and I know I've seen you do wild stuff.
Yeah, the college years.
The college years, man. Yeah. They're way past us now, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would engage in volume eating. It just feels like it's gonna I'd rather just go back to fasting and pack in some good meals during your time you're eating.
I think I tried a while back before intermittent fasting. Yeah, I would just eat. I would calorie count, and then I would just eat a huge salad of just broccoli and cauliflower and that kind of stuff, and that would fill me up. And then have chicken.
Yeah, cauliflower is a big one for volume eating, apparently.
And it fills you up, but it gets boring. It's not sustainable. That's the thing with a diet is you can't sustain. Eventually, you're going to get bored. You're going to go somewhere, do something, and you're not going to be able to do it anymore. And then what's the point in the end? It's not like a final fix. Mm-hmm. Maybe someone's just trying to starve themselves before a wedding or something, and they want to fit in something.
Yeah.
But intermittent fasting, I agree with everything you were saying about I don't feel right if I don't intermittent fast. And all I do is I'll eat lunch. So I eat at 1 o'clock. I'll eat up to 6 o'clock. That's it. Yeah, 1 to 6 is my window.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're doing you're probably fasting 18 hours or so.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
And I just drink water and black coffee. I drink tons of coffee.
Yeah. Black coffee is important while you're fasting too, because it helps trigger autophagy.
Oh, I don't know.
Autophagy is this process that, and this is it happens more when people fast for days. You achieve this at a better rate, but it just recycles your dead cells back into your body. That's what autophagy is. So if you're doing a shorter fast, if you're doing 14 hours or 16, 18, whatever, they say to drink black coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're doing the right thing.
Sweet. I didn't even know.
Not that you need another reason to drink coffee. I know you.
Yeah, exactly. Though black coffee has replaced pretty much every other thing that I was using that was not good.
Moving on to the last segment of this podcast is something that I call all that other shit. Okay, this is where we move off. I see some topics that catch my eye. Bob, I've picked a couple for you that you can relate to and I think have some good wisdom on. So you know what? I'll start with that one first because it's a hot topic right now in Canada. And you immigrated to this country in like the late 70s, 1980, right? And now it's like in the news because they're people are coming here and they see how hard and awful it is, and they're like pretty much turning around and leaving. Mm-hmm. And do you see the difference from like when you first came here? Was there more offered? Was it less of a scam job than it would be now?
I got to talk honestly.
Yeah.
What the change? Lots of change. 100% change. Recently, especially, everything expensive. You cannot buy, anything, affordable for everybody. Plus, I think mentally, everybody is mentally, they are sick, angry, and they are not like before, like a Canadian, so helpful. They don't care. They don't care about. That's my feeling about food. You are asking food. I wanted to ask you, what about fruit? Because we are all family. We are love fruit, every kind of fruit, apple, and thanks God in our area here, Grimsby. Lots of fruit, apple,
pears,
cherries,
and
pears. What do you think about that? About the food and health?
So
fruit
important.
And health.
Fruit and health, very important. I feel like I don't get enough of the fruit. I don't know what it is, but it's so important fiber wise, regulating your sugar levels and stuff. Like if you are going to partake in sugar, it should be with fruit. And, a lot of people like to make shakes and stuff, but I try to avoid doing that because it's bad for you. It just like it spikes your sugar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like if you're doing that to the vegetables, it's different. It kind of like pre-digests vegetables because there's so much fiber and everything. But like I love trying exotic stuff too. I just had a dragon fruit the other day. Delightful. But like the problem is all this stuff. Like I've noticed too at the grocery store, like it's all shit. Like everything's rotting. Like you buy a bag of tangerines or whatever. Everything's so expensive. Like you guys are in like the fruit belt here. Mm-hmm. And like I wonder what the costs of, or like the pears that are going from a backyard to a goddamn metro or something here. Like
I mean, it was really the fruit belt, but then I think when things were cheaper at that time to fly it in from like whatever Chile or Morocco, all these farmers converted everything to wine, to vineyards.
Right.
And that's why it just became this viticulture thing that no one really, like, there's not really like farmers. There are farmers markets, but that's just selling wine and cheese and stuff like that. Like you can't, the only time we get like fresh produce from the area is when like Baba goes and like find some friends or gleans from some, I don't know, he goes on his foraging trips.
All farmers, I knew them after 43 years here. I know they all die, and they sold all building. The worst thing, Grimsby was all farming, everything was free for me. Cherries, everything, these pears, just name it. But now I cannot see all
it's all developed.
Building, development.
Yeah, Baba used to know all the spots to find like these landlocked areas with like trees and stuff where you could just get free produce, free food, fruits and stuff. But it's all condominiums now.
Or they used to beg me, come and gather all the apple leftover.
Everything that fell on the ground. Yeah, he would glean. He would glean.
It was
Agnes
beautiful.
Varda, Gleaners.
Yes, you are right. Everything changed and expensive.
Those mother
But
effers.
still we survive.
Yeah.
So it's really the cost of living that's
Yeah.
a big turnoff here.
Yes. Yeah.
Would you not, if you were coming today in 2024, would you come to Canada or would you go somewhere else? Would you?
No way I go to Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why Australia?
Because all my buddy, my friends, auntie, cousin, 1,000 people everywhere in Australia or Europe.
Europe?
But, yeah, that
Sweden?
Scandinavian.
Yeah.
It's
That's
cold, but Australia is good by there.
Yeah.
And
Does the
good,
Middle East have like its own EU? Like, can you, if you're from Saudi Arabia, can you live anywhere?
I have no idea. I've never
Well, because
been.
they're not all the same currency or anything, right? Like,
No,
It's a
no,
bunch
they're
of
all
different
different.
countries.
They're all
Different.
different countries, and they like war with
No,
each
they,
other.
they are against of each other.
Yeah, they
That's
all
when you know there will be peace, when they all have their own EU
No.
and they all got
They
their
need
own.
the new world order. When everyone's the Bitcoin, everyone's
yeah,
you got to sell them Bitcoin, Baba.
yeah, I'm going to do that.
Well, there was a story I just saw in the news, which I thought was pretty interesting, involving Iran. There was a porn star from the United States named Whitney Wright who got a visa to go to Iran, and they let her in. And there's all this outrage from people that are like, because obviously her profession is something that they would punish. Like women are being like, arrested and just for not wearing a hijab. So what I know we've talked in the past how you've always wanted to go visit Iran, but you've been afraid of the videos and stuff. If they
I would assume they would Google like something.
How could they not know? They said they're like, we weren't aware of her job profession, but I think that's horseshit. So what's really going on here? How are they letting a?
This is all lie. Not this news is okay. As far as that guy is and that lady is not Iranian, she's allowed to.
Yeah, I don't think they do much to
No.
foreign people that just like are coming on a visa. It's like if you go to like Russia or North Korea, they have this like kind of like a bullshit contained. They'll be followed around until you leave.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do anything because they know that's going to cause like a big like international problem. But if you're an Iranian citizen or anything tied to Iran, you just disappear, I guess.
Yes, I know.
It's corrupt
I
too,
know,
right? They could just
corrupt.
pay,
Yeah,
like maybe the
not
porn star just paid their way, or they just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. She seems rich. She's gonna just come, spend some money, and leave. So we're not gonna kill her and cause a.
Excuse me, but I got remember that thing. That's why vice versa. There are many girls or daughters of mullahs in Iran. They become rich on multi-million, especially in Canada. They came here and bought everything, all kind of food, building everything. Their daughters, they are porn stars here, or they are porn stars. They come here, they got a freedom, stay here, got a visa for permanent visa when you show them money, and they lots of here in Turkey, they are all whore house with the Iranian girls. All the I know that
In Turkey.
in Turkey, even in Thailand, they got own this thing. They got Iranian this thing too, because the pressure there, and they come here or
So
other
it's just
countries.
like, well, there's hypocrisy, and
Yeah.
in the end, it's about class. So there's like
Yeah.
like the rich people part of the government that are like
Exactly.
like religious clerics. Their kids all live in Toronto or Beverly Hills and stuff, and they're rich and they
Or
look
America,
like
or-
bimbos and shit like that posted on Instagram. But like that's the hypocrisy of it. Just like the poor people are the people that have to suffer from these weird
Exactly.
draconic laws or
Right.
whatever to fuck with them and control them. So I don't know, but I think in the end it's like
I've been there. I went, when I came to Canada, I went 5 times. But after 20 years, I never went back because all my family immigrant or die.
Yeah.
Or,
No one to see.
yes.
Man. Well, hopefully, maybe this will open the door and distract it if ever you need to, from
Yeah.
the Paid Our Face our history.
We're health gurus. That's what we are. Pickleball.
Got
Yeah,
this
pick
last question I was thinking about, and I've talked a lot on this podcast so much how annoying Elon Musk is. And I've gotten off of Twitter. I don't have Twitter anymore. I didn't really want to be a part of it, and I just felt like it was, as you've told me, getting more toxic all the time.
Yeah.
But in the vein of like a type like a Saw movie type of ultimatum, you can only pick one thing. You have to do one of them. Would you rather get the Neuralink that he's offering, which is like he implants your brain and then you can like control your computer and shit, or you go to Mars?
Oh my god!
Which one are you
That's
doing?
both like which way of dying, which with death sentence. Yeah, it's like Saw.
Now you can barely control your mouse with the Neuralink thing or whatever.
Is this like saying that things are going to work out, or no? It's just as it is right now. Which reality are we talking about? Because like Elon's just a liar. He's just lying. He's promising you something that is not. He's promising you a future that maybe you saw in science fiction, and it's never going to come. But maybe Mars. Maybe Mars, because at least I would just like die in space or something and not have like my brain get hacked or just like
the hacking, and people are worried about getting ads if you get the cheaper Neuralink, and
I get enough like spam. I don't want to see it pop up in my eyes, just like an Apple Vision, just like a pop-up comes up and you can't reach for the toilet paper or whatever, you can't see it. But I don't know. Maybe the Neuralink will be a fast death. Maybe it just doesn't work. They put it in and you just have like die. Maybe that would be a better way than a slow death in space by yourself.
You'd be with a group of people. I'll give you that. You don't have to go to Mars by yourself.
Maybe Mars. Yeah, maybe Mars. Maybe I would take Mars over Neuralink because at least then there's nothing inside my head.
My worry is, you know the air inside an airplane when you're 6 hours into a flight and it's just recycled fart.
Yeah.
Isn't that just what the rest of your life on Mars would be? That's what worries me.
I guess you're like your lungs.
You never get a fresh breath again.
Yeah.
You never get to go
gross.
outside. You never get to feel like the sun on your face and the wind, the rain. You know.
Never
that shit,
thought about
why the
that.
fuck? Like, why is to explore it in some other way? The way they're doing it now, I understand, but to think that we're gonna leave this planet and that's gonna be better, and it's smaller and like doesn't have any resource, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
It's kind of sad if people think that's going to be a better reality than the world they're in.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, I want to leave this world and go into like a space station, like go into jail, go to prison, basically. Well,
yeah, it's insane.
why? I don't know what the appeal to that is, besides maybe people want to be a part of history. Maybe it's like this kind of like celebrity. Then you'll be famous finally. Your social media didn't work out. Maybe if you go to space, Elon sends you there, you'll be
They
somebody.
could barely survive when they were locked in that like biodome thing. You just see that that little planet, or whatever they called it.
That was the Pauly Shore.
Well, that was the movie, but they
heard-
did it in real life. They did it in
Yeah.
real life, and it like some like they had to open up the hatch. Someone was getting hurt, and like
I mean, the episode of Survivor, Big Brother, even though that's all staged, think about just being stuck with people for like decades, a small group of people. It's going to be like Lord of the Flies or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be Piggy. I've got asthma. I don't want to be that guy getting hit by a boulder.
Bob, are you getting the brain chip, or are you going to Mars? What are you doing?
I go to Mars.
Oh, okay.
I like Mars too.
I think you would be you'd be a good part of the team there. I think you'd mix well with people. But
I hope so.
Maybe he'd take on leadership, and they'd all be like Chor Baba, Mayor Baba. He'd teach them all yoga on Mars.
Mars Baba. Yeah, I teach you.
Well, guys, thanks so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure to talk to both of you.
Yeah, no, thank you for having us.
So where can they find Happy Hoosh Monday? How do we get them there? I'll put a link in the show notes to your YouTube page.
Yeah, exactly. YouTube.com/Billy Hoosh, BILLYHOUSH. And every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we have a Happy Hoosh Monday.
Nice, man. Great. Well, thanks again, and we'll see you when we see you.
Okay.
Take care, Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.